another vehicle began pursuing him. Witnesses and surveillance would later piece together what happened next. Two rappers from Dallas, one feud that played out in public for years. Diss tracks, threats, taunts, all of it on the internet for the world to watch. Then, on an ordinary Wednesday afternoon on a Texas highway, it ended in gunfire. One man, dead at 28. And for years, everyone thought it was just a robbery gone wrong. But here's what the world didn't know. The man who pulled the trigger was already in custody, arrested within weeks. And the man everyone assumed was just an innocent rival, he would eventually be charged with hiring the killer. That's right, a murder for hire, with one rapper accused of paying another man to take MO3's life. So how did a rap feud turn into an alleged contract killing? And why is this case finally heading toward a courtroom in 2026? Stick around, because this story didn't end on that highway. It's still being told, and it's far darker than anyone imagined. To understand this story, you have to know the two men at its center. First, Yella Beezy, born Marquise DeAndre Conway in 1991 in Oak Cliff, Dallas, a hustler who turned one viral hit into a national career. In 2018, his single, That's On Me, exploded, climbing the Billboard charts, going multi-platinum, and making him one of the biggest breakout stars to ever come out of Dallas. Signed, touring, on top of the world. Yella Beezy was the mainstream success story. Then there was MO3, born Melvin Noble in 1992, also from Dallas. A respected, fiercely loyal figure in the city's underground. A rapper with a devoted local following, known for his gritty style and his unbreakable code. He wasn't chasing radio fame the way Yella was. He was the streets' voice, the man the real Dallas listened to. Two artists, two worlds, one city, and a relationship that started friendly and curdled into something deadly. Now here's where the story gets complicated, because the exact roots of the beef are still murky, even today. What we know for sure is this: by 2019, tensions were boiling between the two camps. Diss tracks started dropping. Yella Beezy and MO3 traded shots in their music. Threats, accusations, call-outs, the kind of public sparring that hip-hop fans devour, never realizing how dangerous it could become. And there was one moment that deepened the war. In 2019, MO3 was shot in the leg. MO3 publicly blamed it on his feud with Yella Beezy's circle. Whether that accusation was fair or not, it changed everything. Trust was gone. From that point on, these two men and their crews were enemies, and everyone in Dallas knew it. The feud carried on through 2020, disses, threats, a growing sense that this was no longer just music, this was personal, this was dangerous, and then came the day that changed everything. November 11th, 2020, a Wednesday afternoon in Dallas, Texas. MO3 was driving northbound on Interstate 35 near Clarendon Drive in Oak Cliff when another vehicle began pursuing him. Witnesses and surveillance would later piece together what happened next. The gunman approached MO3's vehicle and opened fire. MO3 was struck by the gunfire and critically wounded. Emergency crews rushed him to the hospital, fighting to save his life, but the wounds were too severe. At just 28 years old, Melvin Noble was pronounced dead.
Melvin Noble, a rapper who goes by the name MO3, was shot and killed during an attack in broad daylight. On a Dallas highway, a man got out of his car, gun in hand, and walked up to Noble's car, who then quickly left and started running. That's when the gunman chased him and began shooting, hitting Noble and a bystander who was sitting in his car.
The news hit Dallas like a shockwave. One of the city's most beloved underground voices was gone. And almost immediately, the question started. Who pulled the trigger? And was this connected to the years-long feud everyone had watched unfold? At first, it looked like a street killing with no clear answers. But the investigation was moving faster than the public realized, because behind the scenes, police were already closing in on a suspect.
All new at 10 o'clock, Dallas police have made an arrest in the deadly shooting of Dallas rapper MO3. Tonight, police are telling us that they have taken 21-year-old Kawan Dontrell White into custody for the death of MO3.
Just weeks after the murder, in December 2020, Dallas police made an arrest. The man in handcuffs was Kawan Dontrell White. He was charged in connection with MO3's death. The alleged gunman, the man accused of firing the shots on I-35 that day. For the first time, the case had a name, but even then, the full picture hadn't come into focus because the investigation was pointing somewhere nobody expected, not just at the man who pulled the trigger, but at the man who prosecutors would later claim put him up to it. Over the following years, the case moved slowly through the legal system. White faced his own legal troubles along the way. In late 2022, while awaiting his murder trial, he was sentenced to nearly 9 years in federal prison on a separate gun charge. And all the while, a question hung over everything. Was MO3's murder a random act of violence? Or was it a contract killing with a very specific beneficiary? And then, in March 2025, more than 4 years after MO3's death, prosecutors made a stunning new move. A grand jury indicted Yella Beezy. The charge, capital murder while remuneration, the legal term for murder for hire. Prosecutors alleged that Yella Beezy paid Kawan White to carry out MO3's murder for financial gain. The feud everyone watched from the sidelines was now, in the state's view, the motive behind a contract killing. The rapper who'd soared to the top of the charts was now fighting for his freedom. He was arrested and held on a massive bond. After weeks in custody, a judge reduced his bail to $750,000, and Yella Beezy walked out, facing a possible sentence that could change his life forever. But here's what makes this case so unprecedented. The state didn't just bring the charge. They reached for a weapon that's become one of the most controversial in modern criminal law, Yella Beezy's own music.
Well, if rappers are saying, and I say rappers in their characters, using their stage names, but if they're saying, I did this, I did that, if you strip that of all of its artistic intent, if you negate it as rap, as an art form, it can sound like straight confession. That's a perfect way to send people to jail for something they didn't do.
Because in 2026, as the case moved toward trial, the courtroom became the stage for a legal battle that could change hip-hop forever. Prosecutors argued that Yella Beezy's rap lyrics, even ones that never named MO3, hinted at the feud that led to his death. They wanted those words admitted as evidence of motive. His defense fought back, arguing that rap lyrics are art, not confessions, and that letting a jury convict a rapper on his own bars would set a dangerous precedent for the entire music industry. The stakes were enormous. If the state won, it meant a rapper's creative expression could be used against him in a murder trial. If the defense won, prosecutors would lose their most powerful piece of motive. In July 2026, the judge delivered a split decision. More than a dozen of Yella Beezy's songs were barred from the trial, but some of his lyrics were allowed in, enough for prosecutors to build their case around the feud. And just like that, the stage was set for the trial that has drawn major attention across Dallas and the hip-hop community. Now, here's where we are right now. As of August 2026, the trial is set to begin on August 24th, 2026. Nearly 6 years after MO3 was gunned down on that Dallas highway. 3 defendants, an alleged gunman, an alleged accomplice, and the rapper prosecutors accused of ordering the hit. A case built on surveillance video, forensic evidence, a public feud, and now a rapper's own lyrics. And in a twist that no scriptwriter could invent, a judge recently had to decide which defendant would stand trial first.
The judge ruled Friday that Kawan White's trial will begin August 24th, rejecting arguments from White's attorneys The Dallas rapper Marquise Conway, better known as Yella Beezy, should go first.
Keion White's case has been scheduled separately from Yella Beezy's, with White's trial proceedings set to come first. So the man accused of pulling the trigger will face the jury before the man accused of paying him. 2 trials, 1 murder, and the city of Dallas fans watching to see if justice finally arrived. So what do we make of this story? Because on one level, it's a tale as old as hip-hop itself, a feud, a rivalry, words turning to violence, but it's also something more unsettling. This is a case where the state is alleging that a mainstream superstar used his fortune to erase a rival, where rap lyrics are being weighed as evidence, where the line between art and confession has become a matter of life and liberty. MO3 is remembered as a legend, a man of loyalty and code, whose death shook Dallas to its core. His music lives on. His voice still speaks to the streets he came from, and his family has spent 5 years waiting for the answer to one brutal question. Who took him from them and why? Yella Beezy maintains his innocence. He has denied any role in MO3's death. And until a jury decides otherwise, he is presumed innocent under the law. But his career, the rise, the fame, the multi-platinum success now carries a shadow that no amount of streams can wash away. Right now, the world is waiting for August 24th, 2026, waiting for a jury to decide whether a rap feud really ended in a contract killing, waiting to see whether a superstar's lyrics will be the thing that brings him down. MO3 gave Dallas everything he had, and in the end, he was taken from the city he loved, allegedly by the very man he once called a rival. If this story shook you, you know what to do. Smash that like button and hit subscribe to Hip Hop History Vault. We dig into the darkest, most unbelievable stories in hip hop, and this one is far from over. Subscribe so you don't miss the verdict.